Welcome to Community Corner. My name is David Taylor. Our two new friends are.
Hello, my name is Alan Connie Castle.
I'm Anthony Termina, basically taking over for Ryan. Ryan's not here this week, so I'm taking over for Ryan.
Please join us in welcoming Bruce Benson and Chris Baker from Orion, an organization that focuses on serving those with mild developmental and intellectual disabilities, including but not limited to autism spectrum disorders, Down syndrome, epilepsy, and seizure disorders, cerebral palsy, and learning disabilities. It is the goal of Orion to assist those individuals with locating independent living. We are looking forward to learning further details about this organization and its goal to support, guide, and assist individuals seeking the opportunity to live on my own. Welcome, Bruce and Chris.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
My first question of the day is, please tell us about your family growing up, both of you.
Okay. I'll start with that. I grew up on the East Coast, way far away from here, and came to married a young woman from Michigan, and so I've lived in Michigan for a long time.
And you, Chris?
I was born in Southfield. I lived in Novi for 6 years. Then I moved to then I grew up in Farmington Hills. Then I went out of state for a couple of years, 2 years in Massachusetts, a year and a half in Minnesota, and then I came back to Michigan, and I've stayed there ever since.
What type of educations did you seek?
I'll let Chris respond to that one.
I have an associate's degree from OCC. To get to on my own, you don't really need an education, except I think you need to pass at least high school to be to get on my own. Is that right, Bruce?
Well, there's not really an entry requirement per se, but most of our members have completed high school, and some have gone on and gotten education elsewhere.
Nice.
Gentlemen, did you obtain, this is the question for both of you guys, did you guys obtain a degree, and if so, in what field?
My degree is in psychology. I'm a psychologist by training. I went to school at Indiana University and Western Michigan University for graduate school, and did an internship at the University of Illinois. And
I have a OCC associate's degree in accounting, and I graduated with honors.
Awesome.
Please share your various work experiences.
Work experiences. My first job was, believe it or not, was umpiring baseball with kids. Then I ran the clock for Mercy high school games. Then I worked at a bank in Novi, and then out east I tutored a disability kid with math, and then I've found a job at Taubman, which is in Bloomfield Hills. I'm assistant billing coordinator, and I've been working there for 7 years.
And you?
Okay. My experience has been primarily with nonprofit organizations of a variety of kinds, and I've had the pleasure of spending 15 years as a consultant where I got to travel the country. And I worked as the chief operating officer for a very large car museum at one time, which was an awful lot of fun. out in Seattle area. And I've been with On My Own, as of tomorrow, I will have been with On My Own for 5 years.
What led you to On My Own?
I was looking to live by myself in 2002. I interviewed On My Own. I didn't at the time. I didn't like the questions that I liked. It was a different director back then. Bruce wasn't around back then. Then I went to Minnesota. That didn't go very well. I had depression, so I had to come back home. I had to South here, and after my college degree, I needed to move. Was looking for people within my disability to hang out with, and I found it tried On My Own again, and they accepted me, and I've been there ever since.
Cool.
Both of you guys, what is your guys' work title and what is your role in that work title?
Okay. My job is as the executive director of the organization, and it's a lot of fun as well as a lot of work. And it's great because we have members like Chris. We refer to the folks who participate in our program as members because there's a real connectedness between and among everybody. So there's it's a very powerful part of On My Own, I believe. And what would you say your title is?
My title is a member, the executive member, but I'm only joking.
Yeah.
We members work with the staff. They work on their goals within the organization. They work. We work. We hang out with friends. We do lots of take classes, do outings, go to the fundraisers. They're a main selling piece of On My Own.
Chris is very much one of the leaders among our members. He's very active in what we call our member council, which is somewhat similar to a student council you'd find perhaps in a high school. And he's very active in that and very active in the softball, and he's the current president of the bowling league. And so he's
always good to stay involved in.
Absolutely. He's very involved in a lot of the activities and demonstrates a lot of really strong leadership skills with the other members.
Okay, my question is for both of you. Please tell us about your mission statement and why.
Okay, I could probably do that one as much as anything. Our goal is to provide an environment, provide opportunities where our members can achieve the things in life they want to achieve. It may be things related to employment. It may be things related to independent living. It may be things related to building and maintaining close friendships. And another part of what we believe in strongly as an organization is giving back to the community. And so our members oftentimes, both individually and as a group, are involved in different types of volunteering activities. And Chris could tell you about some of the volunteering things that he's done.
Please tell us.
I volunteered at the zoo. I volunteered at the Beaumont Hospital, taking their people who were seeking, who's looking before their loved ones before they was surgery and after they're done. That was really hard. And I've also worked at the Clawson History Museum, giving out tours of the History Museum. It's a 1920s house. You really would like it.
Do you provide any support staff?
We do. We have a variety of staff. We're a small organization. There's only 8 of us altogether. But we have one program manager and 2 supports coordinators who provide direct social work type services to the members in the apartment living program. And then we have 2 staff who are also in the organization providing what we call member aid services or community living support services. And so we have kind of a mix of different kind of roles that people are involved in.
How does your organization, your services, interact with those of other agencies, other supports agencies, such as Community Living Services, CLS, and MORC?
Yeah, we have a small number of our members who are, we contract actually with Community Living Services, but we partner with a lot of organizations. The past couple of years, we've done a lot of work with the Oakland University Center for Autism, and we're just getting ready to start some partnership activities with Woodside Bible Church for a game night we have scheduled that's coming up in February. We've worked with a variety of local organizations, all in an effort to share what each partner has to offer. And it's worked out very, very successfully for us.
Autism Speaks. Have you reached out to them or no?
We've had contact with them. Chris, your mom was involved in, I don't know if it was Autism Speaks or the Autism Society.
Autism Society, yeah.
You know both those organizations very well.
Yeah. She was actively involved with them, and we contact them and try to stay alert to kinds of things they're offering and things we're offering. But most of the times we reach out to other organizations, it's to partner around a particular activity. And so those things work. We work with Down Syndrome Guild. We work with Project Search, which is part of Oakland Schools, and the Oakland University Center for Autism, or OU Cares, has been a very active partner, and we've jointly brought a couple of speakers in that we felt were very helpful. And so we're big believers in partnering with other organizations.
So what you're saying to me is that it leads to this question: how do folks contact you to be involved?
Okay. If you visit our website, which is onmyownofmi.org.
Can you please repeat that?
Sure. onmyownofmi.org, and on that website you'll find a lot of information about the types of services we offer, as well as who do you contact. And people can contact me directly via telephone or email, and they can contact Tiana Brown, who's our program manager, and she would be the person to contact most directly if somebody has an interest in becoming a part of On My Own.
Is there any paperwork involved to become active?
There is. We have an application process, but it's pretty straightforward information. You know, medical information, demographic information, different types of services that somebody may have been involved in. Most families that we connect with already have the information, and it's just a matter of providing some of that.
Federal or state funding, do you guys receive both, one, or either?
You know, we don't receive either.
Okay.
We are a private not-for-profit.
Okay.
On My Own started in 1997. A number of families got together and said, you know, the federally, state, county-funded programs, they're wonderful programs, but they wanted to have a little bit more of a connection between and among the members and the families. And they happened to get connected with a woman at the time who was finishing up her doctorate at Ohio State University, who had worked with an organization, oddly enough, called On My Own, down in Columbus. She brought their ideas back here, and these families got together and formed their own private not-for-profit. So only about 6% of the dollars, 6% of the revenue that we get comes from Community Living Service. And the rest are fees that families pay and money that we raise with foundations and donors and corporations. And then we host a number of events each year that are fundraisers. We have a big bowling event. We have a golf outing. We do a lot of the same things that a lot of nonprofits do to raise money.
Cool. That sounds very fun.
They are fun. They're
fun.
a good time. They're a good time.
Are there fundraising events in this?
Say again?
Are there fundraising events?
A number of them. We do 4 main ones a year. I mentioned the golf outing, and we have what we call the bowl-a-thon. You want to talk about the bowl-a-thon a little bit?
Yeah, we have a bowl-a-thon. Anyone can bowl. It's 9-pin, no tab, which means if you bowl 9 on your first ball, it counts as a strike. We do 50-50. We do sometimes strike ball, and we do door prizes, and the members pledge money to their families and get money raised through On My Own in Michigan.
I think last year we had somewhere around 140 or 150 bowlers.
Hallelujah.
So it's a very big event. And then we do our golf outing, and we do it right down the road from here at Paint Creek Golf Course.
I heard that before.
And we do that in June. And we have a gala that we do in the fall, and we do it at the BMW dealership out in Novi. And then we have a member recognition banquet. And that is where we come together, and we're fortunate that Steve Garagiola from Channel 4 is our MC.
I'm a good friend of his on Facebook.
He's a wonderful guy who's been a friend of On My Own for a very, very long time.
Nice.
Cool.
And he comes every year, and you know, it's just a lot of fun having it. He knows the members. He's known them for a long time, and that we do in the wintertime. And so that's coming up here in just a couple of months.
What legal requirements do you have to prepare for and file paperwork?
You know, there really isn't anything. I mean, there's many of our members participate in Social Security and Medicaid and different things like that, but there's not really any federal paperwork that needs to be taken care of. We have our own internal documentation that we have just so we can you know, make sure that we're providing the best range of services that's needed. With On My Own, we have members from about 18 years of age till, I'm told, from
60.
Chris,
Yeah?
that are going to be 60 years old. So we have a real spread, and we have many families that have, their members are with us, living in the apartment program, but the families have relocated to Florida or Indiana or up north in Michigan and that type of thing. So On My Own is very much like a family in that regard.
Oh, yeah?
You know, people are very close are with one another, and
Yeah, that is very nice.
you know, what we believe is that adds to and provides a real opportunity for quality of life, and that's what we're all looking for. And that's how we believe On My Own makes a difference for folks.
Yeah, that's nice.
You guys made reference about your roles and your titles. Do you have a board, and what is your role?
We have two different boards, actually.
Okay.
I mentioned that On My Own is a member organization. All of the families that participate, the family members themselves participate in what's called the Voting Members Association, which is one representative from each family. And they are the ones then that identify and select who are going to be the board of trustees of the organization. And we have a board of, our bylaws permit us to have 15 board members. We're always looking for new board members. Only 3 of the board members can be parents or siblings of members in the program. So we look for folks from the community that have particular knowledge, particular experience in certain areas that can help out.
Awesome.
What, if any, role may volunteers play?
Volunteers play a really big role.
Explain.
Okay, we have 4 10-week sessions during the year that are classes. And we have volunteers that come in and teach all sorts of different kinds of classes. We have one volunteer who very regularly teaches a class in yoga. We've had volunteers come in and teach exercise classes. We have volunteers who come in and teach a variety. One individual who's been a teacher or a volunteer teacher with us for a very long time, whose son used to participate in the program. She comes in and does, boy, so many different types of content areas on how to live on your own, how to take care of things around your apartment, as well as she travels the world, so she brings in a lot of information about different places she's been around the world and does training in that. And being a car guy, I do training every once in a while, or I do a class every once in a while on antique automobiles, and we have a little bit of fun with that. But we have a variety of kinds of classes.
On a side note, are you familiar with agencies and staffing?
I'm not sure what kind of agencies and staffing you mean.
Or where people come and help individuals? to get to the point, to follow the PCP goals?
We work with like Michigan Rehabilitation Services. We work with some other organizations. Our goal is to provide or assist our members in finding the best employment opportunities they can possibly find. So we don't work with any placement agencies per se, but we have a group of people that meet that represent Oakland University Center for Autism, Michigan Rehabilitation, Judson Center, a variety of different organizations. They're much more active in the area of job development than we are. So we piggyback with them. We try to coordinate with them to provide services.
Does Orion work with a Pacific housing location?
For the most part, yeah. We're located very closely to Somerset Park Apartments. And Somerset Park Apartments is a gigantic apartment complex with 2,220 apartment units. And not all of our apartment living program members live there, but most do. And Chris, you've lived there for?
About 8 or 10 years. I've had 3 different roommates. One lives by myself. The other one, unfortunately, passed away, and the other one, my current one's name is Nick, and I've been living with him about 3 or 4 years.
And Somerset is a nice location because it has a golf course, it has workout rooms, it has swimming pools, it has a softball field where our softball team practices.
Yeah.
So it's really a sizable location, and it's right on Big Beaver, so it's close enough for many of our members to walk to work. It's close enough for a lot of our members to ride the bus system or Medigo to get to work. So it's a very convenient location, and our office is within short walking distance of the apartments.
Obviously, with it being in Troy, kind of being a little bit repetitive here, but what is the housing agreement?
Actually, the agreements are between the individual member and their family and the apartment complex. We're not involved in their housing situation legally, if you will.
Right. Okay.
May an individual select any apartment if they wish to?
They do. They can live in Somerset Park or Somerset Park Apartments, or they can live. We have some members who live nearby in condominiums. We have some who live nearby in other apartment complexes. And so, no, they definitely get to select where they want, where they think is the best place for them to live.
Karen?
Does Orion schedule social events, and if so, what kind?
All kinds.
All kinds.
I'm going to let Chris deal with this one.
We do trips. We've been to this past year. We went to Tennessee. This year, the year before that, we went to Toronto, Niagara Falls, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Local events, we do dinner and movie. We do Pistons games, Tigers games. We do crafts. Events. We do, we're thinking about doing the Shine Prom. We did the firefighters. We played the firefighters game last year. All sorts of kinds.
We schedule about 40 different events a year. We do 4 10-week class sessions.
Yeah.
And each of the 10 weeks during those class sessions, we do an outing of the type that Chris just mentioned.
Cool.
So there's a very, very active schedule and a lot of opportunity for members to participate in different kinds of things that they would enjoy doing.
Cool. Does anybody like video games?
Yeah, we have.
I do.
Yeah, we have in the office. We have a big 60-inch screen with Wii and all sorts of other video games that you can play and that type of thing.
Does it include
I like
wrestling
that.
games?
And what kind of games?
Wrestling.
No.
I don't think we have wrestling.
No, we don't have wrestling.
But if you want to donate a wrestling game, we'll be happy to set
Okay,
it up.
we'll do.
What do you guys see as the future of your organization?
Very good question.
That's
Very
very
good question. Like I said, we're just coming up to our 20th anniversary.
But one problem, buddy.
Yeah, that's no small accomplishment. That's really right. Yeah. We're coming up to our 20th anniversary, and we're noticing that we get calls from people from around the state and around the country. that are saying, we've looked at what On My Own offers, and will you come and do it here, or will you come and do it there? So we think a lot of what the organization can provide is the type of thing that a lot of people are looking for. So future-wise, who knows? Who knows what the possibilities are?
Future is bright.
Future's bright, absolutely.
Yeah, the future is bright.
Yep.
Can you do a quick success story of your work?
How about Mr. Baker's success story right here?
Please tell us, Chris.
Well, I don't really have a success story about my work, but I have a success story about my life. There was I remember there was this true story. A couple of years ago, I have first of all, I have trouble with anxiety, and I take medication with I take medication for that, and I was volunteering for my job at Beaumont, and it was a strange day. We were it was a very quiet day. I had nothing to do, and then toward the end of my day, I saw a woman crying, and we were like in the corner of the room, and me and the workers were wondering what was going on. We looked up on one of the works computer and saw the relative had a brain tumor, and based on what the woman reacted, we thought that the person didn't make it, and I took it personally, and I couldn't stop crying the other day, and I had an anxiety attack, and overdosed on some medication. I almost went to the hospital but did not, and luckily I was almost kicked out on my own because of that. And my support group within my life, my parents, my family, and all my my psychiatrist had to get together with the director, had this big meeting, and they decided to give me another chance, and here I am.
Still there?
Still there.
Wow.
I think it's a good thing they gave you another chance.
Yeah.
It's about second chances.
You're very lucky.
Yeah, I'm very lucky, yeah.
Well, gentlemen, it's been very informative and very helpful interview today. So many challenged individuals share the same desires as their peers, to live on their own and have various degrees of control over their individual daily experiences. The more the general public learns about this organization that is available and eager to guide those seeking independent living opportunities, I would recommend you contact On My Own and gain information and options to pursue their own dreams.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
I'd like to close the show by saying thank you Emily for coming on, and thank you to guys as well. I'm Jerry DiRicciolo, and been watching Siemens TV, YouTube, and CMN. My two friends all.
My name is Aaron Castle. You have been watching ONTV, CMN, and YouTube.
I'm Anthony Termina, basically replacing Ryan Gray for a little while, and you are watching ONTV and CMN Public Access, and also this will be on the YouTube page of Orion ONTV and also CMN.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Have a great night.